You're listening to If Only I Were Wiser podcast, where Raina Wilson brings together wisdom and raw life stories to provide encouragement and truth. So many times it's easy to become discouraged in your own pursuit of health because your story or circumstances look drastically different from your favorite influencer or even the expectations you had for yourself. If that is you, welcome! This space is for you to learn, breathe, and maybe just listen and see what wellness could look like for you. Hey friends, welcome back to the If Only I Were Wiser podcast. Thank you for joining us, and I can't wait to dive in. Today we have Rachel Draper from Rachel Draper Wellness. Rachel is a skin specialist and integrative health practitioner, military wife, and mom of 2 beautiful little girls. Today she will share a little bit about her own health journey and what it has meant for her to fight for healing for herself, as well as helping her clients feel beautiful and confident from the root cause of their illness from the inside out. Welcome to her wellness story. Hey Rachel, thank you for joining me on If Only I Were Wiser. I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you so much for having me, Raina. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, this conversation is something that I think we just have on a regular basis, but I'm so excited to be able to share it with everybody else.
Me too.
So let's get started and I know you, our audience doesn't know you. So can you just share a little bit about yourself, how you kind of got into the world of skin, your family?
Yes.
All the fun things.
Yes. I'll try and keep it short enough, but okay, so my name is Rachel Draper. I'm the owner and founder of Rachel Draper Wellness. I am an integrative health practitioner and a skin therapist. So an integrative health practitioner, I help predominantly women get to the root cause of their health and skin concerns based off of functional medicine lab testing. Philosophy is finding the root cause of the skin concerns and also end up helping to take care of a lot of other health issues that they might be having that they've been dealing with on a daily basis that they just don't get answers to. So I have my own studio. I'm just about to open up my own studio in Salado. I am a military wife and I have 2 little girls and I'm a busy mom, but my passion and my love and my life is taking care of women through my own experience with my own health issues has brought me into this career. And back to your question of how I got into this, I actually started off working in the racehorse industry when I was 15 years old.
Crazy.
And I used to ride. I know, right? So my passion was always horses. I've just had this love and real passion for horses. And I started riding racehorses from the age of 16. And I traveled all over the world. But I actually had a lot of injuries and I soon found out that that wasn't going to be a career when I was in my late 20s or 30s, especially if I was going to have children. So I wanted to learn how to massage horses. And long story short, I became a masseuse for humans. So I was talked into doing a beauty course. I did a beauty course. I learned a lot about anatomy and physiology of the human body. And then I found a real love for skin and facials and taking care of women. I'm fascinated with how the skin works and how we can get results with the skin based on every aspect of our life, the environment, the outside world, the inside world that we live in. So that is a little bit of how I got into the skin world, but how I became an integrative health practitioner was through my own health issues. I, for years and years, had chronic bloating in my tummy that I didn't even know I was aware of. I was always told that was a normal thing to have. A little bit TMI, but I would never have a bowel movement for over a week. And
so
I just had chronic digestive issues. But that led me to having pain in the soles of my feet when I would wake up in the morning time. I had chronic joint pain. I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis in my 20s.
Crazy.
I had alopecia. Later on in life, I ended up having a thyroid issue, and that led to a lot of infertility issues, including miscarriage. And it was a journey of all of that happening that I realized my body is just not doing what it's supposed to do. So I found a functional medicine doctor, and then the functional medicine doctor just took a different approach and really did a lot of lab work and actually found out what was going on inside of my body. So I was so amazed and inspired that now that's what I want to do for women. I have women on my bed all the time, and I hear the same stories that I have gone through. I hear these stories on a daily basis. So now my passion is to help these women like I've helped myself.
Wow. And that's so needed. What would you say was the difference, or what really struck you about going the functional route for healing versus maybe the Western route?
I had answers. I had answers with the functional route.
Wow.
I know that when I ever went to conventional, now there is a place for conventional medicine. I'm not saying anything that is bad about that,
Yes.
but every time I went, it was always, oh, I'm not too sure what it is, but here's a pill for the symptom, and here's a pill for the pain.
Okay.
And then that gave me another symptom, including chronic acne on my face. So I always had another symptom. I had heart palpitations. I had depression. I had anxiety. I had so many other things that I didn't have any answers to. But when I went to the functional medicine doctor, she literally looked me in the eye and said, when was the last time you felt like yourself? And I was like, I don't even know who I am. I don't know who I am.
Wow.
And it was a very powerful question, but putting all that lab work in front of me and saying, girl, look at your hormones, look at your gut health, look at your energy levels, look at your mitochondria, look at the candida in your gut, look at the SIBO. This is the reason why you have all these things, and you have Hashimoto's. Your immune system is shut down. Your immune system is attacking itself. We need to take everything back to the beginning, remove the toxins. We have an answer. We know what's going on. Let's start very slowly. And that's what we did. All I wanted to do was get pregnant again, but she was like, nope, 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 nope. You're not going to get pregnant again. You're going to take a really healthy approach here and start putting you first. Because if you continue to go like this, you've got another autoimmune disease coming on its way. So that was just amazing. That has changed my life dramatically. I am 38 years old and I have never, ever, ever felt better. I've never had any more energy. I don't suffer any more anxiety. I don't have any more depression. I feel amazing because of my health and finding the root cause of what was going on.
What I can imagine that it was super overwhelming at first, right? To sit across from this woman and be like, I'm not crazy, right? Like, I'm not crazy for the first time.
Yeah, it was very more like when she said to me that question, when was the last time you felt like yourself? I just never had anybody ask me that question before. I never actually had anybody have that much time for me. And I remember being in there with my 2-year-old at the time. And, 2-year-olds are running all over the place. And she had time for my 2-year-old. She had time for me. And she just was like, it was like I got an instant hug from her. It was like I had the care factor, and it was just a different approach. And I did feel like relieved at the fact that she said, here is your answer. This, like, Rachel, have you seen the state of your gut? Like, have you seen your health? Like, have you seen the inside of your body, basically? I'm like, no one ever told me I could actually see the inside of my body. Nobody. No one told me I could actually get those labs done. I think it's very difficult even to get a hormonal test in the conventional side. It's very difficult for someone to test your hormones. But having that paperwork was like, aha, I got something to work towards. And then going back to her each time and saying, hey, look at the lab work now. Look what's happening. How are you feeling? And seeing and physically feeling like, oh my God, I've never felt better. I have energy. And it's amazing. It's life-changing.
What would you say were some of the very first things? Like, thinking back to the first steps towards healing, what were some of those things for you?
The first thing that she immediately got me to do was remove gluten from my body, like high inflammatory foods. Okay. So the first thing that I started to see was the energy levels I had. I used to eat food and feel so fatigued I'd have to have a nap during the day. I felt super healthy. Like I felt like I had more energy. I had less anxiety attacks actually. I didn't
Interesting.
feel like I wasn't in my own body. I felt more connected to what I was doing. I was working towards getting my body healthy. And what she said to me was, Rachel, we need to get your new babies home. This is your new baby's little home. We want to get that home the best home it can be, so you can provide thriving nutrition to that baby when you're pregnant again. I promise you, if you get pregnant now, you're going to be miserable. And I knew what she meant, because on my first child, I was miserable pregnant.
Wow.
I
Really?
was super hormonal. Like looking back, I was very, very different in both my pregnancies. Looking back, I was extremely hormonal. I was depressed. I had severe anxiety. I had high blood pressure. I had diabetes. I had
Wow.
so many things on that pregnancy. I had no complications, but apart from the diabetes. But it was a different labor. It was a different pregnancy. I was chronically tired. I actually had asthma too. That was how I found out that I was pregnant. I was at the gym and I went to get on a bike, and I got an asthma attack and went to the hospital, and they were like, you're pregnant.
Oh my goodness.
Right? Yeah. And for the first 2 months of the pregnancy, I had this chronic cough, like couldn't get rid of it. I was on an inhaler. Now knowing what I know, my body was so inflamed. It was full of toxins. It was full of inflammation. It was full of the things that I shouldn't have been putting inside of my body. My gut health was where I believe was the stem of everything. My gut from a young child was probably never healthy. Never. And I think I didn't realize or know, I was never educated on gut health. But now what I know, I realize, wow, no wonder my hair was falling out. No wonder I had joint pain and all the symptoms that I had, chronic fatigue. And yeah.
Yeah, it all makes sense.
It really does.
You have really talked about, or I know one of your passions is healing the skin from the inside.
Yes.
Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah. So I fell into, I became an integrative health practitioner because of my own health. And then I realized, oh my God, my skin is so much better. It's glowing. It's beautiful. This is my industry. And I just had that realization of, wow, this is exactly how the skin should be treated. It is not only about skincare. We have been learning all the wrong things over the years of, hey, come into my salon and do a 6-pack of peels because I'm going to peel your skin.
Yes.
That is a really bad approach to taking care of skin. When we think about our skin is the window of our body. Our skin tells us the message of health, and it tells us a message of something that's not right. Chronic redness and dryness and eczema and psoriasis, they're all derived from the gut. They all come from, there's so many studies out there now as well on acne, that when we have an imbalance of good versus bad bacteria in our gut, we can have chronic bad acne on our face. But also there's many other reasons why we can get acne, like parasites, food sensitivities. Everything that I've learned just really confirmed, and everything I've been educated on really confirmed that taking care of the skin from the inside out is the only way to heal it. The only way.
Wow.
You can go
the only way to heal.
The only way. You can go and take Roaccutane for a year or two, and it's what I call a Band-Aid fix, because it will take the acne. Yes. And it worked, but did it come back a year later, or did you have any chronic side effects? I mean, not everybody it comes back, but for some people it can.
No, it was horrible. Acne has always been a major heart insecurity for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think I remember even sharing, I remember being in middle school and my parents always found the camp. I'm thankful for it now, but as a teenage girl,
yes,
really wrestle with the fact that, all of your friends are doing these things, but you can't. So makeup was one of those things for us. My parents just said, Raina, you are naturally beautiful, so you're not allowed to wear makeup.
But and they were right. You're so naturally beautiful.
Thank you. But I remember 13, 14 years old, I was distraught because I'm going through puberty, this major hormonal
Oh,
change,
yes.
and I had acne on my face. And I remember sneaking into my mom's medicine cabinet after she had left to go run other errands before she took us to school. So she was in the kitchen or helping my siblings get ready for school. And I would literally go in and sneak into her makeup bag, pull out her concealer, and put just little drops of concealer on my face because I felt so insecure in my own
Yeah.
skin.
Yeah.
And thankfully, my parents really supported that health journey. But like you said, we didn't know anything about holistic nutrition. We didn't know anything about gut health. We went to my OBGYN and she did a handful of tests and said, well, Raina, you don't have many options. We did all of the things with my dermatologist and
Yeah.
she said we don't have many options. So it finally came to Accutane. I took
Yes.
Accutane my freshman year of high school. And at that point, you have to be on hormonal birth control because Accutane, you have to have 2 forms of contraceptives because the pregnancy risk factors are so scary. Which,
Yes.
looking back now, like that should have been a red flag. Not that I
Yeah.
was trying to get
Yeah.
pregnant at
No, I
14.
know, but like I had the same red flag too. Yeah.
Like that's so scary that, hey, there can be
Yes.
really bad fetal
Side effects.
development
Yes.
side
Yes.
effects that you really have to be on birth control. So not only was I on birth control, but I took Accutane for a year. I had all of the miserable side effects. My lips were chapped and bleeding. I remember being so hormonal. I was depressed. I had no energy. And then my skin, I will say, after I finished the 6 rounds of basically hell, I felt beautiful for the first time. And then 2 months later, it all came back.
Wow.
And I went back to my doctor in complete tears and was like, what happened? Because you said this was the last ditch option. And
Whoa.
she just looked at me and said, unfortunately, Raina, your body produces too much testosterone. So that's just what it is. And that was it.
Wow. So you were told to go home and deal with it then?
Yeah. At that point,
Yeah. So all of that toxic energy, basically, like all of that, those toxins were put into your body for all that time to get a 2-month work of like, aha, my skin's really good.
Yes.
And that's what my mission is as an integrative health practitioner, is to really, it's a longer process, but it's not a band-aid fix. It's a forever thing. It's a lifestyle change. It's a forever fix. It's not a diet. It's a lifestyle change for you to be awakened and say, oh my goodness, I've actually been living like this my whole life and I didn't realize it. And look at this side. This side is the side that I didn't even know existed. I know that was me in my experience. I didn't realize that, honestly, food was my life. Like how much energy real nutrition give you.
Right.
And it feeds your skin cells, it feeds your brain, it feeds your gut, it feeds your bacteria. Nutrition is our medicine, but we're not really ever taught this.
Exactly.
Unless we go to nutrition school.
And even then, I think social media is such an influence, right? So a lot of people get their nutrition information from TV or influencers.
Yes.
So even then, I would say it's difficult to sift through the information. And you have to, you have to find a professional who works in this area or a level of certification to be able to say, actually, yes, this diet or this lifestyle change, or I eliminated these 3 foods and have felt better. But from a holistic perspective, if we're really going to approach healing in a holistic perspective, it may not work for you. So let me help you figure out what will work for you.
Yeah. Yes. That's exactly what I love about being an integrative health practitioner, is because we take every individual as an integrative approach. There is no one size fits all, and there is no one silver bullet to just fixing the skin, to just making you feel like you have better energy, to just fixing any health concern that you have. There is no one thing. There's many things that needs to be done to get your body back to equilibrium and balancing, and it takes a long time too. So that's why a lot of people do prefer to go to the quicker route, where like take a pill, have some Accutane, your acne will go away. And I do feel quite sad for a lot of the younger girls who are searching on Instagram or TikTok, and they're looking at the influencers or somebody who's just using this product and it worked for them. And I totally understand it, but lots of the times when you have acne on your skin, I think the biggest mistake I see is these girls searching for acne skincare. That's not necessarily, it's actually not what your skin needs, especially if your skin is a drier acne and it is caused by like hormone imbalances. But you really want to take care, you want to have a look at the overall skin. Every acne can be caused by many different things, and like food sensitivities. But when you don't have oily skin and you're putting in acne skincare, you're literally stripping your skin over and over and over again. And I think I told you this before about the analogy of your home. So if you think about your skin being your house, and the roof tiles are what protect us. So the roof tiles is the outer layer of our skin. It has a microbiome. It has good and bad bacteria, which need to be kept in balance. But if we go ahead and we have acne and we start to put some, cleanser, for example, that's one of the most important parts of your cleansing routine. Or of your skincare routine. We're putting the wrong cleanser on. It's like getting a chisel or a hammer and knocking the roof tiles off of your home. And then when you knock the roof tiles off your home and you have no protection layer, well, the bottom layers are saying, hey, what is going on? What are you doing? Where are you guys? You're supposed to protect us. You're there to protect us. So the environment is getting in on the bottom floors of your home, literally the bottom floors of your skin, and it's being destroyed. So you're constantly trying to clean up the mess and mop all the water up or whatever's damaging, whatever's getting in from the environment, because there's no roof to protect. You have to have a good, strong roof. And there's certain ingredients that keep that roof really, really strong and keep all those roof tiles of the skin knitted tightly close together, so no environmental factors get down into the bottom layers. Because the bottom layers, all the layers of the skin connect with each other, all the way from the bottom all the way up to the top. They all talk and communicate with each other. They all have a job to do. But what the biggest problem in the skincare industry now, what I see is impaired barrier, which is taking the roof tiles of your home away. We need to keep it on top. And ways of taking that off is like a 6-pack of chemical peels on the skin that's already impaired, that already has roof tiles flying off it. It's like, it's a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for your skin to really come in really, really bad state. It takes a long time to repair that.
Yeah, I would have never even thought about that because, I won't mention it by name, but our favorite beloved peach apricot scrub, in the past 10 years.
Yes.
I remember buying that and thinking, okay, if I can scrub my face,
I'm going to scrub it away.
Then that's what I heard on the commercials, right? Was you have to remove the dead skin. You have to remove all these dirt, grime, old skin cells, and then you have new skin. So that's so interesting because I definitely grew up hearing, peel your face off, scrub it off.
Yes. Oh yeah, so did I.
Be clean, and then you're healthy, and then you achieve youth.
Yes. And I'll be really honest, I have worked in skin studios and medical spas in the past, that I have offered my clients 6-pack of peels, because I was trained that way back when I was in my young 20s. I was trained to take care of the skin like that. Oh, hey, yeah, go do a 6-pack of lactic peels, a 6-pack of glycolic peels. But the skincare industry has come so far, which I'm so excited for. And if you really do get working with an amazing skincare line that actually cares for the skin, that's made by a doctor who has studied the skin, he knows how the skin cell works. That is the difference in between knowing the skin and not knowing the skin. You've got to really be educated on the skin to hold a business for so long, because there's only so long that you can be doing wrong and nobody will keep coming back to you. You know, you really got to know your stuff if you're going to try and help people. But that is the truth. You're right. Like a lot of people were told, strip, 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 and we get new skin coming up on top. But the fact is that yes, possibly the new skin coming up on top, it's not even getting, it's not healthy. It's not like you're not getting a new skin. You're literally destroying the skin on the top that needs to stay there to protect.
Wow.
Like you have a microbiome on the outer layer, which is made up of good and bad bacteria. And you want that good and bad bacteria to work together to defend off the enemies of environment, and also actually defend acne bacteria. The good bacteria is super essential. And that's why another thing as well, if you're going to use skincare, you want to be finding a skincare that doesn't have any parabens in it. Parabens are in skincare to kill bacteria. You want to get like a skincare that has like as clean as possible, but also has ingredients that nurture the skin, like vitamin A and vitamin C, vitamin E. And then on top of that, you can pick up a product and it can say vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E.
Right.
They're probably not made in a lab. There's probably 0.1% of that ingredient. And then there's a whole lot of other toxins on top of it. You really need to know. My best advice is to seek professional advice on skin. Like, do your research, find somebody that knows, that's getting results with clients. Look at the skincare line. Is it made from a celebrity that's out to make a buck? Or is it made from a doctor that knows the skin, that has great reviews and is used by a therapist that I need to get a consultation from? If there's a skincare that you are not getting a consultation with, do not use that skincare. You need a consultation.
Wow.
Oh yeah, you need a consultation.
That's so wise, which is so interesting to approach skin that way, because first of all, so many of us have never heard that. Like, if I wasn't working with you, like I would still be going through all of the latest trends of skincare or what works at Target because it was their top 5, you know?
Yes. We have an addiction as women to buying skincare, and we want to feel good, and we love product. Like we love having that product. But the truth is, get that product, invest in it. Don't buy the cheapest thing that you can find at Walmart or at Target because, you know, you were told that vitamin C is great for the skin. Vitamin C has a shelf life of like 0 days. Like it does not work unless it's encapsulated. Oh, wow. And if there's any oxygen that gets to that vitamin C, it's dead. Like it's literally dead. It's not, it doesn't work. You need to have skincare that's made in a lab that has airtight pump containers that don't let any oxygen into the into the product. And then you need skincare that's made in a lab.
Skincare that actually cares.
Oh my God, that's
crazy. We have to make that differentiation, right?
That is exactly what it is. Skincare that cares, because not every skincare on the market, probably 60 to 70, probably even 80% of the skincare on the market does not care for your skin.
So what do you recommend?
I'll tell you one brand that is always recommended. It's #1 dermatologist recommended. And there's so many toxins in it. And I love, like, dermatologists are wonderful. But again, I think there's an approach that's a quick fix, because I understand, I do get a lot of people that want a quick fix and are like, when is this going to happen? But setting your client up for like giving them a real life like expectation. Hey, this is what's happening. Exactly. This, like, telling them what to expect as we go through a journey. I always call it a skincare journey. I've worked with a lot of skincare over the years. And I started off working with Dermalogica, and I really, really love that brand. It is a really nice brand. But I have definitely advanced over the years to really amazing skincare lines. And both of the lines that I use are Environ Skincare and Dermavisuals. And since I became a health coach and integrative health practitioner, I am obsessed with Dermavisuals, because Dermavisuals is that brand that lines up with every single thing that I, as an integrative health practitioner, believe in. It's made in a lab in Germany. Dr. Lauderstein is the doctor that created this line based off of putting the roof tiles back on people's houses again. It's, yes, he has created this line.
Right.
He trained us to be corneotherapists, and corneotherapists believe that rebuilding the skin again is the only way to actually help it function properly. So Dermavisuals was designed to repair the barrier of the skin. It has no PEGs, no sulfates, no parabens, no fragrance. It is inorganic. I was actually at a health coaching event, and I was just saying this to some of the girls, that organic means one ingredient. Like organic is just like one thing.
Okay.
So when you're trying to say that the product is organic, it's actually not really true. I always say that Dermavisuals is inorganic. So we have like a base cream, a base gel, and then another cream. So we have options on how we can customize our moisturizers based off of our client. We can customize cleansers, masks, moisturizers, eye creams. In fact, every single ingredient and product that we give to our client is customized off of that client after an intense. It's amazing. You see those ingredients right behind me. So they're right now organic because it's just one ingredient. Yes. But then when you get that product and you put it into the base cream, now it's inorganic, but it's one of the cleanest lines. It is the cleanest and the best line I've ever used for helping the skin.
So what things have you noticed in skincare that you would say is like greenwashing, or like, I didn't know that about organic skincare. Yeah. So I'm thinking, oh, well, great, it's organic. Then, and I don't see fragrance or parabens, so then this must be it. What are some of the things that when you see skincare on the shelves or you speak with clients that you are like, these are red flags?
So I definitely do see a lot of lines out there on Instagram too, from some wonderful holistic coaches that actually have created their own skincare, and they say their line is organic, and like their line is organic because they use organic skincare products, but it's not, they can't necessarily say that product is just organic, right? Like that one product. And the truth about skin is it takes a lot from it's about nutrition. It's about your mind. It's about your health. Okay. So skincare, like Dermavisuals that I work, helps our skin like the same way a supplement would help. It would get your skin to a certain point and it builds your skin back to really a good place, and you start to see that glow and it starts to look healthier. But it can only get you so far if you have chronic bad skin conditions. It can only get you so far to feeling okay about it. You really have to put the work in from the inside out. So back to that question, if you are putting the work in from the inside out and you're getting up every morning and drinking lemon water with a bit of Redmond sea salt and getting those minerals in, you're having a green smoothie and providing your skin cells with all the nutrients that it needs, you're eating healthy whole foods for lunch and dinner, and you're talking to yourself and trying to calm your nervous system back down, you're going for regular facials, then the skincare only needs to be minimal. It only needs to be like probably maximum, I think, in my opinion, 3 to 4 products. A cleanser, a serum with all those actives that like feed the skin topically too, and an SPF, and maybe a really beautiful mask. Like, you can build upon your skincare, but you should never be giving 5 or 6 products to a client straight off the bat. Never. You should never be doing that as a skin therapist. You should be really educating your client on, hey, what's your nutrition like? Let's start there. Let's talk about what symptoms you might be having. Do you have bloating? Do you eliminate every day? Do you have bowel movements? Because where are those toxins going if they're not coming out of your body? They're circulating back up into the blood and causing some toxins to come out on the skin. If we're not excreting every day, well, then our skin is excreting, and it's excreting toxins. So to get back to the answer of that question that you said about what should we look for in skincare, Oh my God. Yeah. Like, really be looking for the brands that are made in a lab, like research the product. Who is it coming from? Does the person know anything about skin? How well are they trained? What's the education? Is it backed by science? Like,
Right. What's the endorsement?
yes. Like, was it made by someone who already has 500 different lines of clothing and makeup and lipstick, and now they're bringing out this skincare and they're just a celebrity? I wouldn't really even entertain it. I I wouldn't
Wow.
follow the trend. I would be seeking professional advice from somebody that knows how the skin works. You definitely don't want to have any of those nasty toxins in your skincare, like parabens and silicones. And turn around the package. And if you can see ingredients on that package that you cannot understand or read, don't even pick that product needs to go. Like, what is that? What's that chemical? What's that chemical? What's
Mm,
that chemical? So many chemicals interact with our skin in a really bad way.
that's so wise.
Yeah.
And it's such a good point that you make about seeing a professional in skincare. And I'm not saying, we've had the conversation that Western medicine and the Western approach to health has its place. But
Yes.
I never had any of these conversations with my dermatologist. It was always, what are your symptoms? And not even the conversation of, how are you feeling? Are you sleeping? Are you having regular bowel movements? It was, what are your symptoms? Okay, you have acne. Please go buy these cleansers and moisturizers and then give it 6 to 8 weeks. Even though I was completely miserable during those 6 to 8 weeks because I wasn't seeing results. And you're right. Like, I think Western culture thrives off of the immediate gratification mentality.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We all do. Look at
Yes.
Instagram was created like it's an instant gratification. It's it's the same analogy that you use when you go to a doctor to like have a concern, right?
Yes.
They will treat you for that one concern, but they will not ask you any more questions based around that one concern. They will not treat you as an like as an individual. Do you have this, or this going on? And that's what I truly, truly love. Like integrative health has changed my life, and I'm changing so many other people's lives because I have the capability to look deeper into that individual person and say, what's your lifestyle like? How stressed are you? How many glasses of water are you having? What skincare are you using? What have you
Exactly.
used in the past? What's your digestive system like? What are your hormone levels? What food sensitivities do you have? Is there a possible parasite? Like, there's so many things that we can look deep on and go eliminate. And most of the time, honestly, I've been working with clients and done lab work on them. It can be many different things, but honestly, food sensitivities can be one of the biggest ones that I've seen results with food sensitivities.
Wow. I wouldn't
Yes.
have even thought about that. So, I guess, flashback, if you were to talk to me, or you have another client on your bed that, has never worked with you before, and we can look at different perspectives of this. Say, she's coming in to see you for the first time. She's really on a budget. What are from trying to budget to, I'm here, Rachel, I'm going to invest in my health? What kind of
Yes.
steps from beginner to intermediate to advanced would you recommend to targeting skin
Yeah.
health?
So this happens all the time in my studio. Like I have a lot of people that come in and say, "Hey, I'm desperate. I need help, but I just can't afford 10 different products and I can't
Mm,
afford all these facials and like, different things. They put their money on different priorities and I totally understand that, right? So if even when you don't have a budget and I will say the same thing to every single client that's on the bed.
okay.
So the one thing that I have been doing a lot is saying, do you eat, like if they're coming in to me with chronic acne, how's your lifestyle? How's your diet?
Okay.
Do you eat a lot of gluten and dairy are the two top questions I ask. And most of the time, 99.9% of the time, they'll say, I eat so much dairy, I can't give it up. I love cheese. I just love cheese. I can't stop.
Yeah, and I love cheese too. I will say that. We have had the conversation that sourcing is really more important than people think.
Yeah, sourcing that food. Exactly, exactly. There's so many things that will fix your skin that are free. So I will say to them, hey, how about we do this? How about we go on a 21-day elimination diet? The first thing I want you to take out of your diet is dairy. I want you to do for 21 days no dairy, and let's see if there's any result in
And test
21
it.
days. And within a week, I've had them text me back pictures and say, oh my God, I haven't had a breakout. I'm in my cycle. What's
Wow.
going on? Like I haven't had,
Right.
yeah, and so that's a big place where I will begin with my clients, like eliminate that dairy. We most of the time really know, pay attention to when you're putting stuff in your mouth to how you actually feel afterwards. Like for me, my enemy is bread and gluten.
Okay.
That's my enemy, but it may not be everybody's. But as soon as I eat gluten, I feel chronically tired. I get bloating immediately. I actually feel like I want to vomit. I can tell I'm so aware of all those things. I actually can get joint pain if I have cheated for a few days. And I just get the memory of, I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that again. But back to the question about like
Yes.
levels of skin, I will say to people, like we all hear this, plenty and plenty, plenty of water, but it's so true. Plenty of water, plenty of sleep, making sure you're getting at least 8 hours sleep. You want to get into REM sleep.
Right.
REM sleep only happens past, I believe, 10 p.m. So you want to be getting into bed at a reasonable hour, having some good 8 hours sleep, drinking that water in the morning before you have that coffee. Have coffee if you love coffee and you really have to put it. Try to eliminate it to one a day. Have that coffee after you have food in your body. I would say omega-3s are essential. So essential fatty acids. If you can afford a supplement, and if you love sardines are one of the quickest ways to get enough essential fatty acids into your diet every day. Fatty fishes, nuts and seeds. It's all about the nutrition, and you really need to put those essential fatty acids back in. Zinc has been shown to be deficient in many acne clients. So zinc is another powerful mineral that we all probably lack and we need. So if you can try and get that in through your diet, rather than taking a supplement.
Right.
But you may need a supplement if you want fast results. But I'm trying to think of cheaper things.
Right. And that's not, we've talked about this. A lot of people want that initial gratification, right? That instant success. And like we've talked about, people don't understand that, especially healing, like your skin healing journey, exactly what you said, is a process that you have to give your body the
Yes, a
actual
big time
chance
process.
to heal. So I love what you said about,
You really do.
Here's an option. Supplementation is great. Please work with a professional if you are really going to dive into supplementation, because everybody's individual needs are different, and you need someone that's going to walk alongside you. Please don't just pull supplementation off the shelf because you saw your influencer or best friend said, hey, this is what worked for you.
No, it's actually really dangerous. Yeah, to do that. It can be. And I would say to the people, I have had people that came to me that necessarily didn't have the money to do the big five labs, but they found that money because that was their priority. I have one girl in particular who just was crying and had her hair over her face, like constantly just hiding herself. She was hiding behind her hair. And we did a consultation and I could feel her pain. Like I want to help people so much. We did the big five lab straight off the bat, and within 3 weeks we had like a 50 to 60, I would say even more, reduction in her acne. It was healing, and I didn't not only just change her skin, but I've changed her life and how she feels about her body.
That's crazy.
She was insecure about her weight. She was insecure about her face. She was insecure about how she looked. And by doing the big five labs and what we found on our big five labs, eliminating everything that was on there. And once you see it on black and white paper, you're like, oh my God, like the same thing I had an answer.
It makes sense.
So I seen those big five labs and she's seen them and she said, wow, I've got answers. Okay, give me the plan. Let's go. I got this. And she was all in. And I think when you prioritize where you want to focus your priorities based around your financial goals, or, even for example, if you say, hey, I can't afford to have facials with you, but hey, can we find the answers first? And then we'll work on nutrition, and then we'll maintain my skin through facials eventually.
And the foundation you're saying is sleep, because sleep is essential for physical healing, mental healing, emotional healing. So sleep.
Beauty sleep is a real thing. We really want to allow our bodies to reset, calm the nervous system down, because that is the driver again of all other issues, hormone imbalances, gut issues. Stress is the number one driver to our gut imbalances and our hormone imbalances, and it's a ripple effect on everything. So yeah, sleep, stress reduction. In fact, what we do as integrative health practitioners is we work on a de-stress protocol. So it's diet, exercise, stress reduction, supplementation, success mindset, relaxation was the other one. So we go through pretty much a protocol of everything to get the client to equilibrium and balance, and we eliminate toxins. So that's the main focus, is eliminating the toxins. What is the trigger of your health and skin concerns? What's the trigger? What's causing it? If we eliminate the trigger, then we can really get the body back to. In fact, I would also say if you could only start with two things, I would start with the gut and stress. Like, calm the nervous system down, and then really look into the gut and see what's going on there, because that is our second brain, and there's a lot that happens in the gut.
What would you say is just a few tips or things to consider for stress reduction? Because I think that's so, even in my own life right now, that's don't be stressed, right?
I hate that word even. I hate when someone says that to me.
Right.
Hey, don't be stressed, stress less. It's not about that, because when we look at stress differently, because stress can be, everybody doesn't know the difference between being chased by a lion or stuck at a red light. Like, our body doesn't know the differences with that stress.
Exactly.
Yes. So I have done a lot of work on this myself, because that has been the reason why I've become so sick, was because I lived a life full of stress. I lived a life running away from a lion, literally. I just was always stressed. I never knew how to not be that way. So like, we also look at like digestive stress in the body. So you can have like foods that are causing stress on the body. You can have excess toxins that are causing stress on the body. But my favorite tips for de-stressing, one of my favorite ones, is going for a walk. Like, put some earphones in, listen to your favorite music, listen to neurobeats, like anything that you like. What I like to do is actually get underneath my red lights. And you can do at home red lights. There's many on the market, some not so good, some very good. But I love to take time for me, if it's a bath or red light. I love meditation. I never thought I would say that. I was never a person that meditated. I actually didn't know how to. I couldn't physically do it, but I kept practicing, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And also hypnosis is amazing. If you've ever tried that, hypnosis is unbelievable. Like, there's so many YouTube hypnosis videos that will just take you to a place, give you confidence, like, and you actually do have the power to change so much inside of your body. You have that power, but you just have to keep putting the work in, and calm. So if you always feel like you're in like stress dominance, you have to find ways on resetting your body. Literally, the most powerful thing is deep breathing. Like, how many times do you tell your little boy, take a deep breath? Like, I try, it's hard. Like, I always say to my little girls, smell the flowers, blow out the candles. How powerful is that when you literally, like at this event that we were at the weekend, there's so many people that hopped on stage and said, I want you all to do something with me. Take a deep breath. And they just all went like this. I was like, I instantly feel relaxed. You can just feel it.
That's so good.
Put your feet on the ground with no shoes and socks on, and ground yourself. Like, have your favorite tea, go outside to the back garden and be alone. Sit down.
Mm-hmm. I literally did that this week. And it's true. We may not have the money to
Most of
steward
the things are free.
our finances towards, a facial or a massage. Yes. But when my husband came home, I was like, please take the baby. I love him. It's been a long day. I'm going to go sit outside in the grass for 10 minutes.
Yes.
And just sit there, get some sunshine on my face, collect myself. And that was the most healing thing that I think I could have done personally, but even for my family. Like, you touched on the topic of a healing mindset. Your brain chemistry physically changes when you're in a stressful or sympathetic. Your sympathetic system is your stressy and depressy system, your fight or flight. And so when you operate out of a sympathetic pathway versus a parasympathetic peaceful pathway, your body programs your brain and your neurons that build your thought patterns into your actual biology are built around a stress pathway. So if you are speaking to yourself negatively, if you wake up and are angry, or if you are speaking lies over yourself, the way that you speak to yourself in the mirror, or your attitude in the way that you approach life, those thought patterns are physically ingrained into your brain. Like, I love the study of neuroplasticity because you can literally rewire the way that you think based on how you speak to yourself.
I'm actually currently doing a course on it's called TCP, and it's based around the subconscious mind and how you can actually reprogram your subconscious mind, because a lot of us don't even know what goes on in our subconscious mind, and it's very powerful, but we live that every day. We live what our subconscious mind tells us every single day. And one thing that I learned a few weeks ago in this course was he made us stand in front of the mirror and look in the mirror and say, I love you.
Wow.
I love you. I love you.
That's so hard.
3 times a day. Like, the minute I did it, I realized I've never, ever, ever, ever in my life looked in the mirror and said I loved myself. I've never looked at myself babies, in the eye,
right?
dead in the eye, and say,
all
I
day
love
long.
you. I know. And just doing that, and journaling has been super powerful for me too. I also listened to a podcast a while ago where there's a girl in holistic healing, and she talks about the journal being the most powerful part of her transformation, where she actually wrote down all the bad things that she said to herself and read them back and said, wow, I'd never even say those things to my worst enemy.
Wow.
You know, we do say so many bad things to ourselves. Oh my God, my belly. I look like this, and that's terrible. And
right, the comparison game.
I do
too.
often say to my clients as well, when I understand that they're looking at their skin going, oh my God, my skin's so bad. Oh my God. And they're looking in the mirror going, oh my God, I hate you. You look so bad. Oh, when are you ever going to go away? You look horrible. Whereas if we can just change that alone, even just looking in the mirror and going, I'm working on you. You're healing. Oh, you look better today. That's an improvement. Okay, tomorrow you're going to look better. I know that sounds crazy, but it really does work.
No.
Yeah.
Even just the mindset shift.
The mindset shift. That's the biggest part. The mindset.
Yes. Instead of saying, I'm failing in this area, to I'm healing, or I woke up today and there's some level of progress.
Yes.
Like 1% difference in the right direction over time is a huge growth. I think I read it out of Atomic Habits. Awesome book. Highly recommend. Atomic Habits, he talked about what is, like, how long does it take to boil water? Seems like always forever when you're watching the pot, but his point was it happens 1 degree at a time. 1 degree, 1 degree, 1 degree. And you're watching this pot thinking, there's nothing going to come out of it. Hurry up. I just want the results. I just want my noodles. But when in reality, the progress was made to get to the boiling point, and then you see results, but you didn't see all the degrees up to that point that actually got you to where you wanted to be. So I think it was just so healing what you said about, hey, even just shifting your negative comments, because that is overwhelming, right? I think many of us can't even look in the mirror and say, hey, I love you to ourselves. Maybe the first step is, hey, instead of I hate you today, it could be I'm doing better today or I'm working on it. I think even that alone, because it can be intimidating to step into, if you have only known
Yeah,
negativity and you have only spoken brokenness and shame over your life, then it can be really scary to go from 0 to 100, right? But maybe that 1 degree difference is,
exactly.
you know what? I'm not where I want to be. I don't really like where I am, but today I'm one step closer to healing. And that could be enough to make the shift in our hearts. And even like you said, like those thought patterns manifest in our gut, in our skin. You eat your words. And we could just be more intentional about the way that we speak to ourselves. I think healing wouldn't necessarily come faster, but I think healing would be so much sweeter.
I actually do agree that it would come faster. I agree that it really would come
Really?
faster. Yeah. If like if we do more of that than less and less of the
Mm-hmm.
negativity. I've really learned so much over the years with that, because I put my hand up when you said if you only know negativity, that's me. I grew up like that in my
Mm-hmm.
childhood.
Right.
And I never really even ever realized I was so negative and so down until it was pointed to me as an adult. And I realized it then. And I remember when I had a life coach, and the life coach said to me, I don't care if you're having the shittiest day. I want you to say, I'm great. How are you? And even though it's maybe a lie, I want you to just start saying that instead of saying, I'm okay. I'm okay. I had to say to everybody, I'm great. How are you? And it instantly makes you
Mm-hmm.
feel better. And like setting that intention, like when you get up in the morning and you just don't feel 100%, but just setting the intention, I don't feel good, but what can I do to make myself feel good today? What can I do? What will make me feel good? What
Right.
will give me energy? And just like, instead of going around in your day going, can't wait to get over today, just hurry up, you
Right.
know, just working on,
And cycling in that
yes, because
negativity.
do you ever notice when you do have a bad day, everything ripples into the next thing? It's like you stub your
Yes.
toe, you lost your keys, you dropped them. Like it's a ripple effect, isn't it? It just
Yes.
keeps
You
happening.
spilled your coffee on your
Yes,
shirt.
you're like, I
Yes.
told you today was terrible. Yeah, yeah.
Right. Even just starting with, like you said, the simple shift from maybe not 100% negative to 100% positive, but to be able to say,
Yes,
I'm working on it, gives, I think, power back to yourself and the autonomy to say, I'm
yes,
not in control of everything in my life,
yeah.
but I'm in control of the way that I approach my life. And that can bring healing and that can bring a breath of fresh air.
Well, definitely not. Hmm.
Rachel, this has been such a good conversation. I am so thankful for you. So, where can our community connect with you? Where can we plug your services? How can we get connected to you?
I am mostly on Instagram. I try to be. I mean, I try not to let Instagram stress me out a lot because,
Right? I
but
feel that.
yeah, my platform mostly that I'm on is Instagram. Rachel Draper Wellness. That's my Instagram page. I also have a website called racheldraperwellness.com. And then also my email is rachel@racheldraperwellness.com.
Perfect.
Yes. So yeah, I can be reached there, and I'm happy to take on a few new clients. I'm starting to get really busy, but I would love to start working with some people that feel like they want to live in their beautiful glowing skin again.
Mm.
Healthiest self.
And I will just say I've worked with Rachel. I love her. She's a dear friend of mine, but she is also just a wealth of professional wisdom.
Oh, thank you,
So,
Raina.
Rachel, correct me on this if I'm wrong, but you have like esthetician services in terms of like facials
Yes.
and all things
Yes,
skin,
yes.
topical skin health. But Rachel is also able to do virtual coaching. Like you don't just have to live in our Central
Yes.
Texas area to connect with her. She can do all sorts of virtual lab testing, whether it's mold, whether it's hormones. They can all get connected.
It's all delivered to your front door, all done from the comfort of your own home. Yes. So I can work with pretty much anyone, anywhere in the world, virtual and
Love
in
that.
salon.
Well, Rachel, I appreciate you so much. And
Thank
as
you.
we transition to wrap up, I would really love just to finish with this last question, because the premise of this podcast, I think you've shared a wealth of wisdom here. But I really hope that as we continue some of these conversations, this would be a place where we can continue to speak wisdom to ourselves, our past selves, and our future selves. So if you could provide any wisdom to your younger self or the community that is listening, what would you share?
Well, the thing that immediately came to my mind, and I love doing that. I don't even think about it. The wisdom that I could say to myself, that I wish I could say to myself when I was 16 is 13. Love yourself. Love yourself. Really, truly, truly love yourself. That's something that I really wish that I had have done when I was so much younger. But, you know, we have to learn so many things, but it's so powerful to really, truly, truly love yourself. It's essential.
And it makes healing so much sweeter.
It really does. I think we live in a society where in the past we were afraid to put ourselves first, but now it's starting to get better, and we realize that we must put ourselves first to fill our cup and give to others. If we don't have anything to give, we're not giving. So we really do need to fill our cup, love ourselves. And when you love yourself so much, you have so much love to give. So it's very powerful.
Exactly. And you can't give out of an empty cup. And you can only run so long giving out of an empty cup.
Yes, girl.
Rachel,
you're awesome, Raina.
Thank you. You're great.
Thank you.
We love you. I'm going to put all that info on connecting with you in the show notes.
Thank you, Raina.
And we'll see you guys in the next episode. This episode of If Only I Were Wiser has ended, but be sure to subscribe for more episodes so you don't miss any encouragement. And don't forget to rate and review, so we can continue to build our community and share more about topics that will be healing and helpful for you. See you in the next episode.